Today we're going to be discussing different types of spine. There's 4 different types. You can use a die. The rest of them use a scoreboard, but they're all as easy to make. And it's like a pair of shoes. Not everyone fits everyone or suits everyone. So hopefully with one of these 4, you'll be able to find one that you can make that will suit you to make your memory book with. So that's our spine, which will be obviously on the back of your book. So measure that to where you want it to be. Just mark it and then cut it up to your mark. Make sure it sits straight. There's my line. There we go. Bring that down. And that gives you your spine. Now this one, you will need 3 pieces. This one, your first piece, you need to score at 1/2 inch down each side. Let's go down each side. Fold it over. Give it a good burnish. So your edge is nice and crisp. And the same at the other side. Make sure you keep it on your score line. And once again, score it. And that gives you first 2 pages of your spine. Do the same again with your next piece, but you need to do 1 inch less. So that piece was just measure that, was 3.5 inch. So this next piece wants to be 2.5 inch. So let's measure that, make sure it's straight. Put that to one side, bring your scoreboard in and score at 1/2 inch down either side. And once again, I haven't cut this to length, it's just to give you a general idea. And that's your next 2 pages. Now that will fit in the centre of there. Can you see that? That then gives you 4 pages. You don't have to have 1/2 inch at either side. It depends on how much room you want in between your pages. I like 1/2 inch because then if I make my pages bulky, I know I've got plenty of room for them to be bulky, plus with the photographs. So that's that bit. So we said that was 2.5 inches. Bring guillotine in. So we want that at 1.5 inches. Make sure it's straight. And then cut it. Sorry about the noise. And again, score at 1/2 inch and 1 inch. Fold it over and score. I missed the score line on that one. Because it's my first video, I'm shaking like a leaf. But, never mind. We'll have to start somewhere. And once again, score. And that then is your other 2 pages. So that then gives you your 6 pages. Without any dies, you've got plenty of room. You can widen it if you need to. Obviously you need to make your spine a bit wider. So we'll stick that down. Just open it up on your score lines. Get your tape. I'll have to use another tape because the other one's in my craft room. And I'm not crafting in my craft room at the moment. So we'll just put a couple of pieces down. And then we'll cut it. Another piece down there. Cut it off. That last piece. You don't need to put any on the bits that you've scored just at the present moment because they're going to be the bits that hold your page. Now, when you put your pages on, you can either use glue or you can use red liner tape, which is really strong, or you can use tape and glue if you're not too sure. That's one piece done. This piece here is going to be the piece that actually fits onto your spine. So, there and there. Let's cut it off. We'll put a few more pieces on this one because this is one going to be attached to your spine, but I will put glue in and in between the areas where my tape is, and also on my tape because it will give me a better hold. I don't want for getting the books and finding after a few pages turned, it all falls apart. I'll be devastated. So are my customers, I think. And put one more piece down there. I mean, you can use a wider tape, it's just the case that this is the one that I have with me. So if you've got some really wide tape, you can use that. You can cover every inch of it with tape. It's down to you. So there's 2 pieces. Put some down this one. Should nicely get 2 pieces on here. Like I said, nice 2 pieces. Covers it all. There we go. Next stage, let's just move the scoreboard out of the way. Don't need that at the moment. Always best to make sure you get all your air bubbles at your tape. So I'll give it a right good push down. See any bubbles or creases, flatten them. There we go. That's that one done. Just a bit on the end of there, so let's just trim that off. That's that one. This one is really easy. Nice spine to do, used by a lot of people who make memory books. You often see them, I've watched lots of YouTubes, I've often seen these ones. It took me ages to figure it out at first and then it clicked. And I thought, well, that's easy. So much easier. This one, see you've got a crease in there, so just flatten it out. So there we go. Right, I'm going to take them bits off the biggest piece yet, because we're not going to attach it to that just now. So the middle piece is, excuse me, right. Now I'm using Craft Perfect 216 GSM. Obviously you can use whichever one you want, but I like working with Tonics card. So let's just recreate those. And then we'll line it up. Start at the bottom, bring it up. Now you can mark it 1/2 inch in if you wish, or you can actually eyeball it. I'm eyeballing it at the moment. Right, give that a good turn it over from the other side as well. Right. And there we go. We've got room for 4 pages. Okay, last one. Pop it up. Take these off. Come on. 1, 2, and then put this one in the centre. If it helps, bring them up. Put that one in the centre. Make sure it sits straight. There we go. Good press down. And there we go. We have a spine for 6 pages. You see that? Now a lot of people, I do sometimes depending on my pages, tend to cut an angle on the spines. So it's like that. Just take the corners off. Must have some tape stuck on my scissors. You ought to clean them. And that just makes it easier for your pages to sit over the top. Obviously do that at both ends on all your pieces. So 1, 2, 3. So you see, it just does actually give a nice edge to it. You see that? Just makes it a bit easier to put your pages on and sit better. And then of course, before you're ready to put your pages on, or you can do it straight away if you prefer, tape on there, tape on there, tape on them both sides, and tape on those both sides, and same on the other side. And that is a really quick and easy spine to make. Okay? You understand that one? There we go. Nice, quick, easy spine for you. Now that's number 1. The next one on a scoreboard. Now what you've got to remember on this one is that your page, depending on how many pages you actually want, you may have to add a bit on or do it in two halves. Yeah, right, so we'll stick with a 1/2 inch for now. Now I haven't cut my page to the size of any spine, it's just what I call it, so it's just to give you the benefit of knowing how to do it. Score at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5, 2, so you're scoring at every 1/2 inch, and what you can do is, if you tend to lose track, just put across there. Them's the bits that come up to form your spine there, so that gives us 2 pages of space in between, right? So continue scoring every 1/2 inch until you feel you've got enough pages. Once again, those 2, so that gives us 3 pages. Okay, 1/2 inch, again, keep going. Once you've done so many, mark your page so you can keep track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, and that gives us 5 pages. Your crosses are only there so as you know where you're at, and nobody's going to see them once you put your page in, or you can rub them out if you wish. And there we go, so that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and one last score at the end. So now we've got our 6-page spine. So any excess we can cut off. So if we take that in there, take that up to there, make sure that's straight, slice that off. And we have, once again, a very easy no dice spine. So where your crosses are, keep your crosses together. You see where the crosses are on mine. So you've got 1, 2 crosses, 1, 2 crosses, 1, 2 crosses. Okay. Now your 2 crosses, like I said, bring them up together. So you've got a cross on either side. And then score. And again, 2 crosses. Until you get used to it, your 2 crosses make it easy for you to realise, otherwise you could end up doing the wrong one. I mean, you're going to score on those anyway, so you can still get away with it. That's that one. And again, 2 crosses back to back. Bring it across and score. 2 crosses, score, 2 crosses back to back, and score it. It's not looking like a lot at the moment, but it will take shape. And you don't have to do 1/2 inch, you can do 1/4 of an inch if you prefer. Give you a smaller spine, but I tend to work in 1/2 inch, and I've got plenty of space in between each pages. And the 1/2 inch spine gives quite a lot for your book pages to fasten onto. Right, so we've got all them, and then where your mounting is, bring the rest of them in. So on that fold there, you've got your 2 crosses that form your mounting. You see that? Yeah. Cross, and then this end one here is the one we're going to score, but we're going to fold it the other way. That's that one. Bring it up. Now on your cross again, you've got your score line that you haven't touched. Bring that down and then score. So that gives you 1 page spine. And on your next 2 crosses, bring it up, push it down on your score line, take it up to your other mounting and score. And again, get that. So where your next score line is on your last cross that you just worked on, bring it down. Right, so that gives you 2. And again, bring it up, take it towards your mounting, score it, and then the bottom of your cross on your unscored line, bring it forward. And you can see it's starting to take shape. So there's 3. Nice gap in between each one. Once again, your 2 crosses together, bring it, take it towards your mounting, bring it up, your bottom cross, your top cross, bring it towards you and score it. 2 crosses together, take it towards your mounting and score. Once you get the hang of it, it's like making a pan. You cross again, you don't touch score line, bring it towards you and score. And your last 2, once again, same as before, take your cross towards your mounting, score, and then bring it towards you again. And then we have quite a wide 6-page spine. Now that'll be about the size I would use in my own books without my dies, because I use a lot of 200 micron chipboard, so make my spines the size I want them to be, depending on the type of book that's required. So that's the back of it. As you can see, right, nice concertina, looks a bit like a corrugated roof. You see that? See how our crosses are together? Yeah, you see that? Hope you can. Okay. Right, if you're still unsure, your crosses bit, the bits with your crosses on, you can open it up and just do a squiggle line down one of the crosses, because where that squiggle line is, that's where your tape's going to be to create your bases for your pages to sit on. So just do it on one. You can do it on 2 sides if you feel the need to prefer. Okay, so we'll just continue doing on one side, and then you know exactly where your tape's going. Obviously nobody's going to see that bit. It doesn't have to be an amazing line, just a squiggly line. Okay, that's about all I can draw, squiggly lines. So there, we've got the areas where we know our tape's got to be for now. Okay, you see that? Where I've put the squiggly lines. Apologies if you can't, I'm trying my best. But you should be able to see where I've done the squiggles. Right, put our tape in. Should have got some wider tape, but we'll manage. That's one. Trim that bit off. And the bit on the next squiggly one. Just makes it easy so you know which one you put on instead of having to count or keep looking as to where your crosses are. I find it easier anyway. Now once you've done it a few times, you'll be able to remember, but if you're new to it, You might think, oh God, which bit were it I was supposed to put my tape on? I have to keep crossing it backwards and forwards, so you find out where your crosses are. So just by putting a squiggly line on, you know exactly. And again, cross the squiggly line. You don't have to follow the squiggly line, by the way. Can if you wish, make it entertaining, to say the least. So I apologise about the shaking. My hands always shake when I'm crafting. It really does make it hard work lining stuff up, but we compensate. There we go. That's that bit. And a bit off. And last but not least, because I've only got thin tape here, I'm only using thin tape. Ordinarily I'd use a thicker one, and then I'd override it with glue as well, just to give a good hold. Right, this tape that I've got here is some that I got from the Doncaster show, and I think it was every craft's £1, and I bought loads different widths, and it's really good tape, really good tape. It's got a really good strong hold. Sometimes I end up ruining the tape because it sticks my fingers that much, I can't get it off without ripping it. Right, so like I said, burnish your tape down, get rid of any air bubbles, so make sure you do everyone. There we go. It's getting very windy outside. I think it's just blown my bins over. Getting very windy. Look, we're all coping with this COVID-19. I've got a bit of agoraphobia, so don't bother me in the slightest not going out. I struggle to go out. Get in the car and I can't wait to get home again. I keep pushing myself to do it. Right, so as you can see, we now have our tape and all the bits where our squiggly lines were. Okay, yeah. Right, so just do it one at a time. Take your tape off. Oops. Turn it over. You might find it easy just to pinch it. Pinch them together. And if you're a bit wary about your tape holding until you've got them all done, if you've got some small bulldog clips, you can use those. Some people use magnets. I'm not a magnet fan unless I'm using magnets in my book, but I prefer to just use bulldog clips. I've got a load from Pound Shop. Rose gold, really pretty. Use them a lot. So there we go. That's one done. You see? That is one page of your spine. Okay. And again, turn it over. Take your tape off. We take covering, sorry. Don't take tape off, otherwise you'll have none on. Right. And again, give it a good squeeze, hold it over, burnish it down. That's it. And then we have two. Follow it all the way along. And again, my two with the crosses on. And a good squeeze. Burnish it down. Next one. Turn it back over. Knit them together. Like that. Burnish it. Next this one. Nip them, bring them up, give them a good squeeze. Give it a good burnish. Last but not least, there we go. Your two crosses, nip them together, bring them up and give them a burnish. Okay, right, so that's it. That's our, getting worried then when you have five spines. Wonder where my other one have gone. So there we go, we now have our 6-page spine out of one piece of paper. No dies, but a good rigid spine. On the back, nice and flat. And then, as you can see, we have some nice ones. There we go. Nice and flat on the back. Yeah. You can see our crosses, which show you which ones we pulled together. Like I say, you won't see that because your page will be going over the top of that. Right. Now again, like this one, you can cut the corners if you wish. You don't have to. Some find it easier to slip the pages over the top. Right, so that's 2 different types of spine. Now another type of spine without a die is, let's just get rid of those, is, imagine that's your page. This one is really, really simple. Scoreboard, that's all you need. Imagine that's your page. We'll do it portrait. And we've just got enough cardstock to do our book, and we think, oh, might not have enough to do the spine. This one will make it nice and easy. It's so simple, it's unbelievable. And it's all one piece. So you know your page isn't going to fall off unless it actually rips. So, put your page in there. Oops. Score at 1/2 inch. Pull that out of the way. Bring it over. And burnish it down. Now, when you've done a lot of your pages like this, the way you attach this one to your spine is tape down this bit, bearing in mind this is on a scrap, I'll put 2 pieces on now. Take it up to your score line. Don't cover your score line because that's your page hinge. Take it up to your score line, trim it off, and we'll do it, another one there. Take that one out up to the edge. Now again, you don't have to worry about it being 1/2 inch. You can make it as big or as small as you want, but don't go too small, otherwise it's not going to have a lot to hold on to. I find 1/2 inch is a really good size. So let's burnish our tape down. That should get all our bits. Pocket tool. Where would we be without pocket tools? I've got 3. A lot of people have more, but I have 3 and every one of them is used. So there we go. That is. So now what we do is we get our spine and we line it up on the spine of our book. Make sure you get it straight. Because I shake a lot, don't make it easy. Make sure you get it nice and straight. Bring it down, attach it to your spine. Give it a good score. good rub with your scoring tool. Get it in a minute. Okay, and there we go. One page on its own spine. Now you can do it that way, and your next one, obviously, is just score this. I'll score this at 1/2 inch. Bearing in mind that you're not actually, this is not actually going to work as a book, but oops. And again, let's score that. Went the wrong way. That way. That's it. Tape that up. One. Two pieces. Let's make sure our tape's well on. Remove our tape. One, two, I've got a little piece caught there. That's it. And then your next page, where you've got that piece that goes off, line your scored edge up with the edge of that page, making sure you get it nice and close, but don't overlap it. That's that. Fold it over. And burnish it. And there we go. We now have 2 pages in our book. Nice and easy to bend. No messing about. And you can either decorate direct onto your page with this, if you wish. You can put strips of DSP, decorative design paper, designer series paper rather. You can put some decorative strips down there in between each one just to make it look a bit nicer, which would quite nice looking spine. So can you see there? We now have 2 pages that fold nicely into our book. Now that one is a very, very easy one, very nice and manoeuvrable. So that's 3 types of spine. Now your 4th is your tonic spine, which everybody seems to have problems with. That's your tonic spine. Not a lot to it. You've got a series of dots which are designed in effect to show you how to cut your books down depending on the size of your memory book tool that you're going to use. Can you see those dots? Yeah? Those dots are also a guide to your pages. Can you see that? Right, I've got some pieces cut out that I did earlier, because you don't want to see me cutting out. My machine's noise anyway. But you can see those dots there, which is the imprint of your die. If you just remember that those dots need to stay back to back, like I showed you with the crosses on the one that we made on the scoreboard. Your crosses act exactly like your dots. Okay? And there's your crosses, and there's your dots. So it's going to end up exactly the same. So, dots If you're unsure as to where your dots are, you don't want to keep looking, just put a line down there, a line down there. Now these are your dotted bits. You can see, just see the dots through the underneath. Okay, there we go. So those are the bits that are going to form your mountains. All the rest, don't worry about for now. Okay, so the middle score in between your two dots, bring them up. Make sure that you've got your dots back to back and score. Okay, don't worry about any other bits for now, just concentrate on your dots. And again, your next set of 2, bring them up to the centre score line. And score. Like I said, don't worry about any other bits apart from your dots. Your dots, your centre one, bring them so they're back to back. Okay, and then score that. And turn it over and you can see that your squiggly lines are on there. Right, now for the rest of your score lines. As you can see, I have just done all my bits with my dots. So, hope you can see that. My dots are back to back. Okay, hope you can see that. Right, so now that we've done our dots, bring it up, pinch them together, and then work your other one, your other score lines, so they're working up towards your dots on your first lot. Bring it in, and then fold it the other way. Still working with just the dot bits in your fingers. Okay, and there we go, one bit. Your next set of dots, again, pinch it between your fingers, push it down, because your score lines are quite good on this die, so they are quite easy to work. And again, score it along, bring it up and fold it back. Give it a score. Okay. So now we've got 2. Excuse me. Your next set of dots, pinch again, push down. Your score lines will find their own fold because it's weakened your paper, so it will go there. Okay. And score. That way. And your last score line, bring them towards you, always working with the bits with your dots. There we go. Oh, excuse me. So there, now we've got 3 pages, because each cut of your spine creates 3 pages. So you can have 3 pages, 6 pages, 9 pages, whatever you can have. 5 pages, 7 pages, because you can cut it off just before your next set of dots. Always make sure you've got an extra piece at either end, so you've got something to mark the edge of your things. So now, can you see, we've got the ridge. This die works very much like the one we've created with the scoreboard. It gives the exact same finish. You just got a die to cut it out with. Okay. So we've now got, move that out of the way. We've now got our valleys, which were our tape's going to be, but we only need to put tape in at one side. Okay, don't need to put it in at two sides. So take that in, push it right in to, up to the score line, and then trim it. That's it. Next piece, in between our squiggly lines, which mark where our dots are, another piece of tape, and trim that one off. And again, where our lines are, in between the dots, you notice all the work concentrates around the dots. Okay, it's all about the dots. Cut that off. Burnish your tape down so it gives it a good firm hold. You don't want air bubbles. Air bubbles are only good if you're trying to breathe underwater. Give it a good burnish down. Now when you take your tape off, once again, like I said, you can put glue on. Don't put too much glue on because sometimes it can warp your cardstock depending on what cardstock you have. Okay, so let's take that piece off, turn it over, and this is doing exactly the same way as you do it with your scoreboard. Pinch the two pieces together. Turn it over. And just run it over with your scoring tool. And the next one, same again. Two dots, grab those two pieces and pinch it together. Let's burnish it down, make sure we get air bubbles out of the other piece as we put another piece on top of the tape. And again, the last piece on here, two dots, grab them, pull them up, and then burnish them down as well, so you get rid of all your air bubbles. There we go, and straighten it out. So now, as you can see, we have three good pieces. Yeah, nice and flat and even on the back. Three pieces that turn quite nicely to open and close. Open your pages. So that's one. Now, second piece, do exactly the same. Just do a squiggly line where your dots are. You can see your dots through your paper. This then means, this means, spit it out. This then shows you which bits we need to work on. Dots again, like I said, it's all about the dots. Bring your dots together and burnish it. There we go. Your next set of two dots, the line in between your dots, bring them up. And again, your two sets of dots, the line in the middle, bring them up and burnish it down. Right, so still working with your dots, just like I did on that piece. Keep your dots together, bring your your score line up, so your 2 dots are laid on top of it. There we go. We're still working with your dots. Bring them down towards you. That then gives you one of your pieces like that. And again, your dots, squeeze them together, push them down, burnish it. Your piece with your dots again, bring it towards you and burnish them together again. Okay, that's then giving you 2 pages. Your dots, bring them up, push down on your score line, into your other one with your 2 dots, burnish it with your score tool, and then bring it towards you, and again burnish it. So there we go. That is now your other piece. Yeah. So turn it over. As you can see, I spilled coffee on my card. You'll have to forgive me. Your 2 squiggly lines are together, so you know where you're at. Open it out, and as in that piece, put your tape in. Run it along. Trim it. You can trim it or you can tear it. I prefer to trim. I always end up ripping my card if I tear. I don't know my own strength. Okay. Right, trim that. That's 2 in a squiggly bit. Tuck it in and trim it. There we go. Don't forget to burnish your tape down. There we go. So now we have our 3 lots of tape in a squiggly line bit. Excuse the coffee on the card. I won't be using these, but they're rare. I make books in white. Right. First one. Like I said, don't forget, it's all about the dots. Working on your 2 dots, bring them together and pinch. Okay. Finish it. Tape it. Make sure it's well stuck to both sides. That's one. Turn it back over. Oops. Grab your 2 dots, 2 sets of dots, pinch, and then burnish it. This also helps work your cardstock as well, so it makes your spine a bit easier. Well, a bit easier for you to turn your pages. I remember at first buying, I did it with 300 GSM. Flipping, I couldn't turn my pages for love nor money. I had to pull it all out and start again. Right, once again, your 2 dots, pinch, it down, and burnish it. Turn it over so you can do the other side. There we go. And there's our other 3 pages. Yeah? Once again, nice and flat on the back. Nice ridges. Dots still together, as they should be. Don't forget, it's all about the dots. Right, to put these together, you need, on one side of here, to add some tape. Take it down, keep it in the middle, or well, you don't have to keep it in the middle, you can take it right to edge, depending on how wide your tape is. I've only brought narrow. And trim it off. That's that bit. Don't forget, burnish your tape so it gets really good adhesion. So there we go, we've got our tape on our flat piece of our spine. Okay. Right. Take the top off. Now both pieces are exactly the same, so you don't have to worry about which way up they go because they all measure the same. You don't have to fret. So we're going to join this piece to that piece. Now lining it up at the top and as close to your page holder as possible. Press it down. Okay. Don't forget burnish with your scoring tool. There we go. Bring it back up. And there we have it. A 6-page spine. Yeah? And that's it. So that one and that one are exactly the same. Just made in 2 different ways. Whichever way. That one's good if you want more space in between each one or you're making a big spine and you don't want as many pages in. That one's brilliant if you want your spines close together. Now these ones, again, you can trim the corners off if you wish to make it a bit easier. I tend not to all the time, just depends on how I'm feeling at the time. And you do the same with that one. So there we go. Tonic spine, every 1/2 inch scoreboard spine. And then we have the 1/2 inch on the edge of the page spine. And then we have the 3-piece layering spine. Now one of those should fit you. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They all give the same effect. They all allow you to turn your pages. Just different methods of doing them. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. If you did, please like and subscribe to any furthers I may make. Thank you. Bye.